hope you liked my new little intro which I put together last night, and I shall use that on the front of all my videos now. As you can see, the pond is nudging 10 degrees. It's rained a fair bit overnight, but it's sort of starting to break up a bit. Now, the fish have been getting food all week because they've been really up for food, and they've had 2 small handfuls every day this week, one first thing in the morning and one about lunchtime, and as such I'm expecting there to be a bit more muck in the Nexus when I do its clean tomorrow. What I have noticed, and you will probably notice now I've took the leaf net off, is how much some of them have grown. I mean, this Mukashi has grown huge compared to how it was, as is that Benigoi, and the biggest grower is probably my Shusui Vader, and he's probably the second biggest fish in the pond, or close to being the second biggest fish in the pond. Made him go skittish there. But I'd be interested to have him out and measure, but I'm not a fan of doing that sort of thing, so unless I need to scrape him I won't get him out. But I'm much happier now I've got the leaf net off. Of course, what happened last weekend, we had some storm and I was constantly having to empty the skimmer of leaves, so I took the leaf net off. It's just my luck, but it's all calmed down this week. So anyway, I'll wrap this clip up now and get back to you tomorrow when we're cleaning out the Nexus. Good Saturday morning, welcome back. And as you see there, temperature today is 7.5. Remember yesterday it was nudging 10. We had quite a chilly night. For you down in the water, so we've lost a couple of degrees just overnight, and that is what obviously happens in an unheated pond in winter. Don't think I'll be giving them any food today, they don't really look up for it. So I've prepped the Nexus. So I've put the pipe in, shut off the valve that brings water from the pump, and put the backslide in, or whatever it's called. Got a brew on the go. This is what my cheeky daughter bought me for Christmas. So obviously a play on words. So anyway, what I thought we'd do is have a look at how much muck comes out, because obviously I have done a bit of feeding this week and they haven't been having that much, so it's not been overly dirty. So if I open the air to the easy and shut off the air to the moving bed, the muck starts coming out. And as you can see, there is plenty of it. Week's worth of live feeding. In the summer, obviously I will be cleaning the Nexus far more regular, but at this time of the year, once a week seems fine. Even with all the feeding I've done this week, it's not horrendously dirty. I mean, it's pretty dirty, but not horrendously dirty. Now, I don't know if you remember, but my Nexus drains to a drain via this pipe here that runs round the house and to our main drain, and I've got 200 litres of prepared RO water to go in the pond, because that's approximately what Nexus uses on the 2 cleans. So this central area holds around 100 litres, and 2 of those are up to 200 litres. So we'll have a quick look at the fish. Still all quite low in the water, right near the bottom. So no more food until they show signs of wanting it again. Vader, the big shoe swede. My little cheap tancho that was only about 2 inches when I put it in, probably about 8 inches now, slowly growing. And it cost me £20 that fish, I think, or might even be 15. So I took a bit of a gamble on a tiny fish. It might lose the tancho spot. It's not the best quality koi in the pond, but you know, I still like it, so it'll be staying. So you have to give this about 5 minutes, and then what you do is you drain her down and refill her. So we'll be back in a sec. Right, it's had about 5 minutes now. So to drain it, all I have to do is turn this valve to there, and the water level will start dropping in here quite rapidly, and all that water will go to drain, not on the garden like it used to. Our garden is absolutely saturated at the minute, and with Milo running around on it, he's out here somewhere. It's as you can see, not done very well this winter, so I'm going to have to throw a load of seed down in the spring, try and hopefully get it to recover. Oh, there he is, talk of the devil. He's not a devil really, he's lovely, but he's still a puppy, so he still does things that we don't really want him to do, like eat the plants. So there you go, it's virtually drained down, and once it's drained down, close off this valve, open up this valve, refill it, and run another 5 minutes of it bubbling easy. I do find 2 is sufficient at this time of year, and the water in the pond is just next level since I've had the Nexus over the old pressure filter I had, and of course it's so much easier to maintain and clean. No more rinsing and cleaning horrible manky sponges, getting the hands freezing cold at this time of year. And obviously there was always a risk of bad bacteria growing in that pressure filter. I still have the Screenmatic, but that works off the skimmer. Doesn't really take in a lot of muck at this time of year, so the screen is hardly rotating at all. But obviously once the summer comes and we start getting a bit more muck in terms of dust and pollen and algae, the skimmer will be more active, and then the Screenmatic will be more active. So that's it, drain down. So take out this slide plastic out of my Milo, shut off the drain valve, open up the in valve, and the water will start rushing in. Now what I've got, I don't know if you'll see it, it's just there. The pump is 20,000 litres per hour, and I'm running it on full bore, and there's a split, a wide split. So 50% of it goes into the shower, and 50% goes into the Nexus. and they do say that about 10,000 litres per hour is about right on a pump fed Nexus 220. And when I shut the intake valve, it literally just pushes the whole 20,000 litres over the shower for a few minutes, which I think is probably quite helpful in clearing any debris out of that. Certainly the shower, there's no pre-filter or anything, and it's still quite clean, so I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. We've seen this process, so I shan't record the next stage, and I'll be back to you in the next clip. There you go, all cleaned and running as intended, and it'll run away like this for another week, and then I'll clean it again next Saturday. So, catch you in the next clip. Welcome back. Quick update on my aquariums. This is the big 800 litre aquarium, and you'll see there's a couple of new additions. The Midas cichlids there and there, and an absence, the arowana. Now, I put the Midas cichlids in because I wanted to turn their tank into a cold water tank, and for nearly a week everything's fine. To be honest, the arowana was chasing Simon, this guy here, more than Simon was chasing him. And then unfortunately, while I was at work, Simon decided he was gonna sort the arowana out, and I wasn't here to save him. So I've unfortunately lost my arowana. But lesson learned, and I don't think I'll be replacing him. This tank, I quite like it how it is now, and he's certainly the boss of it. So just move on. So this was Simon's tank, and it's a 5-foot tank, 450 litres, and it currently houses 5 fancy goldfish. So you've got a red and white oranda, a lionhead, a black moor, a smaller red and white oranda, and somewhere, oh here he is, little multicoloured oranda. I'm guessing probably about 10 to 12 fish will be the maximum, and I'm going to minimally decorate it. I've got a couple of plastic plants in there and a couple of ornaments. I'm probably not going to put a lot more in, but I do quite fancy the idea of a branching piece of bogwood in there, but we'll see, because big bits of bogwood can be quite pricey. This tank is cold water, so there's no heater, and it's currently running at 18 degrees, which is a nice temperature. The fish are very active and feeding very well. Did some water tests on it the other day, and all the parameters were really good. The nitrates were only 10, and no ammonia or nitrite. So we'll see how this tank develops during the year. And finally, the saltwater tank. I've now added a number of artificial corals, but more on that in a later video. This tank's running really well. I've got a fish to pick up for it tomorrow that I had ordered in by my local Maidenhead Aquatics, and that will add a touch of yellow to the tank. Got plenty of blue, got some black, I've got a red clownfish, and just fancied a touch of yellow, so we'll see what that fish is at a later date. And that's a quick update on the tanks. Well, good Saturday morning. Welcome to my mess of a garage. And here you see the blue barrel that I used to store RO water for doing water changes on the big fish tank in the lounge. It holds 220 litres and I change 150 litres at a time. Next to it is a 100 litre water butt which I use for holding water for the marine tank. And down here on the floor is the pumped RO unit, which is running now because I'm about to plug in the pump. Ooh, bit of an obstacle course. So put my electrics here on the side. So let's plug the pump in. Nope, that was the heater. I have had the heater on overnight. You can hear the pump kicking in. So the water goes down this pipe here, out across the patio, into the house, through the conservatory, into the dining area, and then the water is pumped into the tank. And like I might have said in the past, these marks are 50 litre intervals. When I shut everything off, it drains down to this top one in the sump. So from there to here is 150 litres. So I'm changing 150 litres of 800 litres total system, which is quite a substantial water change, and it gets that once a fortnight. And in the interim week, back to the conservatory, in the interim week I'll do a water change in the cold water tank and the marine tank. So that's how I do water changes on my big tank without any buckets or lifting of any water. It's all easy mode. I just have to remember to keep an eye on it, because obviously if I don't, it'll overflow and flood the lounge and I will be in deep doo-doo. Anyway, catch you later.